from London.
Thanks, that's my official title from now on. I'm changing my name tomorrow.
Can you introduce yourself to the audiences?
Yeah, so I'm Gavin, I'm 30, I'm from London, from England. I teach English online and then organise LGBT events around Saigon. Yeah, is that enough for an introduction?
Very busy guy, right?
Yeah, that's why I always look so tired.
Oh, no, you don't look a bit tired and you look young, very young.
Thank you, it's the makeup.
I like him, he's sassy.
Yeah.
How long have you been in Vietnam?
I came to Vietnam just at the beginning of 2016.
Why did you choose Vietnam to stay?
Well, I was living in Thailand before Vietnam, and then I came on holiday to Vietnam to just sort of see what it was like. And I liked it while I was on holiday here, so I thought, why not just sort of come and work and live here for a little bit? And then the days kind of rolled into months and then rolled into years, and then here we are.
A little bit wasn't a little bit anymore, right?
No.
You went to Thailand, and I feel like Thailand is like the complete opposite.
Yeah, Thailand is really, really, really open. Because of their kind of like Buddhist background and culture is sort of really intertwined with Buddhism. It teaches a lot about kind of respect and not judging other people, because how someone's current situation, and if you are to treat other people badly in this life, then you're going down the ladder in the reincarnation. Generally, it's about kind of being nice and a good person to a lot of people.
Others, so you
can move higher up the ladder. You move closer to Nirvana and Buddha. It's not 100% open. They're a lot more open towards trans women and trans men than other countries. It's been part of their culture for a long time. But just the words that they use, maybe not the best, even in their own country, calling themselves, well, other people that come, they're calling them ladyboys instead of the Thai, which would be katoi, which means kind of transgender person.
Have you ever been with a katoi?
Not male to female, but female to male, yes. Kind of happened by accident, and then in that situation...
Accident.
Yeah, well... I like guys, and I like the things that guys have, okay? This situation, there was something missing, so it wasn't something that I chose to, but I went with it anyway. Kind of think I should have hit something by now, and then you hit something else. and then you kind of, yeah. But then you kind of like roll with it and just.
But you stop there, or you just keep going?
It was already in like a. Oh my God, I'm gonna say this. Oh my God, I don't know if I want to say this.
Go straight to the point.
I wish I'd gone straight to the point. It was already in a foursome, so you just sort of go with it in that situation. I don't know if I want to keep that in.
Too many people.
Just kind of like go with it.
Yeah.
And you go with it. Yeah. After that, it made me kind of question like sexuality and kind of attraction a bit as well. Kind of like, well, if someone has the appearance of completely presenting as male with muscles, a beard, body hair, everything, but then they have a different genitalia and sort of those things, it made me reevaluate a little bit about how, like, attraction and kind of what I could be open to. Attraction stay one way, or is it something that evolves? For me personally, as someone who's presenting as a more male aesthetic, and I like guys, but at the same time, I would be open to dating a trans person who also hasn't necessarily had gender confirmation surgery. Okay, interesting. Okay, anything particular that you really like about Vietnam? The boys. Ooh, okay. The food's good too. While we're on the boy topic, do you have any particular boys in your life at the moment, or a type of guy that you like, or something like that? Aside from Tuân, yeah. I don't know. I don't really have a type. It's so red. I don't really have a type. Just kind of someone who's nice, friendly, can make me laugh, it's funny. If they're hot, that's a bonus as well. If they're rich and successful, also a bonus. Okay, so are you rich? Billionaire? No, I'm so poor. But look at that watch. Back to the story of Gavin. What have you experienced in Saigon? Like, Vietnamese food is pretty good. Vietnamese boys are better. A generational difference, I think, like between kind of like millennials and sort of a bit under. They're like much more open towards sort of like the idea of being gay or going towards any kind of alternative spectrum, compared to sort of like older guys tend to be much more kind of closeted and like discreet only on Grindr, you know?
Don't show it on Facebook, please.
Yeah, just like a topless, a headless torso.
In my culture, if we go to see a psychologist or something, it's a little bit like seen as there's something very wrong with you or you're weak or something like that. Did you ever feel that?
It wasn't something that I kind of spoke about with people, because I think there is still, if you are dealing with maybe like mental health issues or no matter where it falls, you know, depression, anxiety, manicness, anything like that, like to verbalize it and say it out loud, it becomes kind of, makes people feel a bit awkward, I think, at least in the UK.
Don't know how to deal with stuff, right?
Yeah, then it makes people feel like less alone, and realizing that like, if we all just kind of like keep it inside, then we all just feel like we're the crazy one. But we're all a little bit crazy. If we just kind of talk about it and be like, hey, like, I'm a bit crazy, and the other person will probably be like, oh yeah, like me too, like, well, let's be friends, you know what I mean? Like,
You feel crazy?
No.
Really?
in denial.
What would you say is the craziest thing about you?
I haven't done any crazy thing in my life. I'm still on my comfort zone. I never get out of that.
So do you ever want to be crazy?
Yeah, sometimes I want to try, but I have no chance to try it.
I'll give you my number after.
So when did you realize that you are different from the other boys?
Maybe around like 13 or 14. I remember watching like, you know, WWF, the wrestling.
Yes.
You see the guy and?
Yeah, they wore a lot of like revealing outfits, just underwear, you know what I mean?
I always wonder, how does the underband stay on? Like you're wrestling and you're doing all these crazy moves in wrestling, but the underbands doesn't get a wedgie.
You wait people to put it down?
I'm waiting, yes, I'm excited.
Yeah, I kind of was like, oh, I like that.
At that time, you decided to hide yourself, or you want to share it to your friends or family?
I was kind of still figuring stuff out, because it wasn't a swing. I think it was more about like connection and more like feeling comfortable with these people rather than wanting to sleep with them.
Found something that you really liked in them, but it didn't mean that you were actually attracted to the sex.
Yeah, and then it wasn't until kind of college, but like in the UK, college is like 16 to 18, and then you do like university after 18. So at college you have a bit more freedom, they're more open, like explore more of those options and then go to kind of like gay club.
Can you compare the LGBT culture between Vietnam, Thailand, and your country, your hometown?
Okay, so like I moved away from the UK like 2012, so it's about seven years ago. So it's been a while since I was properly there, and I didn't spend too much of like my adult years in there. But the culture is much more open. It's okay to be gay, I think, in the UK. You may still face kind of the odd idiot that will make a comment or things like that. I can't speak for everyone, but I think most people are aware enough to know that kind of like being gay is okay. It's like it's normal. It's represented on enough TV for decades now. Like in the 90s, there was Queer as Folk, you know, like the TV show that was sort of normalizing, and that was mid to late 90s on like the mainstream, like 5 channels that was on there, then other representations, and now we have trans representation, drag representation, like it's coming towards kind of like non-binary and sort of
normalized.
Yeah, trans issues are the new gay issues, I'd say. Like they can go back to living in their cave, who cares, you know? We're just gonna go live our bright, colorful lives. Good luck, do you know what I mean? But now it's about dealing with getting representation and for people to like normalize and to understand about people who are trans and people who are outside of the normal things that people may know about.
And Vietnam?
So Vietnam, I'd say Vietnam is quite conservative. And I'd say there's kind of like a split between the millennials. Like, I count myself as a millennial. I'm like the older millennials. Like,
I'm like almost there.
yeah, you know, I'm the granddad in the corner of the millennials, you know. And younger are much, much more open about their own identity, and they know themselves how they feel, but it's dealing with their parents is the problem. And like, I know a lot of gay people openly gay, but not so to their parents, and will be in a gay space or will go to a gay bar, but their parents don't know. And then continue the lineage, and like, even though you're gay, they don't care. You still need to have a kid. You still need to have a wife and things like that. Yeah.
It's the first son. So what happens if that first son is gay?
That is my situation, but it depends on how you deal with that. People should be brave to live the real you. Like, don't hesitate to express yourself to your parents, your family, and tell them the truth. Because if not, you will hurt another girl. And like, you can have a real happy family.
Everything's so fake, right?
Yeah, fake.
I completely agree, 100%. Like, you just create unhappiness. Like, the gay guy's gonna be unhappy, the wife will be unhappy because she married a gay guy who just...
Parents aren't happy because you're lying.
The parents might be the only ones that are like at least a little bit happy because they have the grandchild now.
The gay guy married the girl and then they cheat on her, date with another guy.
So much lying,
yeah,
so much
lying.
Deception towards yourself, actually.
So I've lived in China, Thailand, and Vietnam so far, and I'd say kind of China and Vietnam have a similar like conservative culture. So instead of being like the firstborn son, it is your only child. So if they're gay, your family line stops there. So there's a huge amount of pressure to...
So much pressure.
Yeah, but a lot of the people that I met, they would say that they're allowed to be gay until they're 30, and then they have to have a wife and get married.
You can be gay until you're 30. Then you have to change your mind.
Yeah.
And everything.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
So live it up. Gay it up. Have the gayest time you can. And then get straight. So